Before we get into the video, I need you guys to do me a favour. Number 1, like the video. Also comment, let me know your thoughts on the case. Scotland by nature birthed hardened men. Call it the drinking culture, the climate, or the manual labour work ethic. But none has been tougher than one Colin Big Coley Beattie. Colin Big Coley Beattie, who made a career in the construction industry and fruit stores and pub industry, was held in high regard by both criminals and the police. To put it bluntly, he was both revered, feared and respected due to the sheer size of the Glasgow man. When he passed away at the age of 85, over 500 people packed the Clydebank crematory to pay tribute. Now, Coley was a man who lived his life on principle. He was an anomaly in the sense that despite the fact that he got into trouble with the law multiple times, repeatedly, he never used weapons. It was always his fists, head, legs, because they were strong enough. It was showcased when Colin had killed a man called Francis Whitelaw with a single punch in a dance hall in the West End at St George Cross. Now, once Francis fell to the ground and was no longer moving, Coley up and left the scene. When interviewed by his solicitor, Coley says they thought that Francis was going for a weapon after he reached into his pocket. Now, the incident went to court because a friend of Francis had picked out Coley to the police. He also claimed that Coley had launched a punch at Francis for no reason at all. It was a one-sided attack. However, when the case went to trial, the judge noted that it could not go to trial because the prosecution did little to prove it was not self-defense. So, of course, Big Coley was acquitted. Now, any time Coley was arrested for an incident, it was already understood that the police would need at least 8 officers, all armed with truncheons, which were often used and left broken when used on the 6-foot-tall Coley. One incident was Coley was beaten with the truncheons and left with a broken nose and lacerations to the head when he had to be detained. Now, during the 1960s and 1970s, Big Coley often looked out for other people who were being taken advantage of in the city, whether that be by criminals or the police or bad business practices. In 1979, Coley was detained by the police at the Station Bar in Yoker, Glasgow. Police were interested in Kenneth Kansas Kelly, who it was alleged that they had shot a barman in a different pub. When police entered the establishment, they found Coley and Kenneth sitting together, laughing and joking, sharing a drink. Police attempted to get Kenneth to go to the station. Kenneth protested. Coley then got involved and lunged himself at officers, righteous whether rightly or wrongly in any act, and he was unapologetic. Now, in that incident, Coley was struck with a baton on the head. It broke. Coley did not go down, and Coley also threw a left hook at an officer, falling him. These are just some of the reasons that Colin Big Coley Beattie was considered one of the hardest men in Glasgow. If there was a scrap, 9 times out of 10, Coley was coming out the winner. Stay safe.